Okay, so just two different definitions first, and then the Kahoot game will give you a statement and ask you, is it a positive statement or a normative statement? Okay, positive statements are statements that can be proven correct or not. Statements that can be proven correct or not. Statements that can be proven correct or not correct. In English, you call these facts. Not in the economic world. They're called positive statements. So an example, and we have to start thinking like economists, so this is going to be an economic example. Rising pork prices have increased the demand for chicken. Rising pork prices have increased the demand for chicken. So as pork gets more expensive, what happens to chicken? People want it. So that is a fact. That is called a positive statement because we can use numbers to prove that it's correct. So rising pork prices have increased the demand for chicken. When my nephew was 4, he said to me, okay, Auntie, so steak is a cow, yes. And beef is a cow, yes. And pork is a pig, yes. What's chicken? Couldn't figure that one out. Doesn't know what chicken were. Yes, absolutely. So another one, you don't have to write it, but I want you to hear it. Okay, so imagine this is a headline in the paper. Increased use of public transportation reduces congestion on the city streets and lowers traffic fatality rates. Increased use of public transportation reduces congestion on city streets and lowers traffic fatality rates. Fertility, I almost said. Fatality rates. Okay, why is that a positive statement? We don't know if it's true, but we could prove whether it's true or not, right? What kind of data would we need? So number of accidents, traffic jams, all that kind of stuff. We could prove whether it's fact or not. Here's another one. Unemployment rose by 0.8% last quarter as 250,000 Americans lost their jobs in the public and private sectors. Yeah, repeat that again. Imagine it's a newspaper headline. Unemployment rose by 0.8% last quarter as 250,000 Americans lost their jobs in both the public and private sectors. How could we prove if that was true? How do we know it's fact? Right, so they do the unemployment rates every single month. You'll see it, Canada will come up on CTV News once a month. Okay, so that's a positive statement because we can prove it. I didn't even know CBC was here today. Oh, there we go, aviation. Well, that's very cool. Connor. Last quarter would be 3 months, yes. Yep, you're right. So opposite of that is called a normative statement. So in English, positive statement you call fact, normative statement. That's always what you want, fact and fiction, but no. Opinion. Fact versus opinion. So it's statements that are open to personal opinion or belief. Statements that are open to personal opinion or belief. No, I'm going to tie it back to the raising pork. So here's an example of the same kind of example as above, but a normative statement. So rising pork prices is bad for low-income families. Rising pork prices is bad for low-income families. Why is that a normative statement? It's my opinion, right? And how do you qualify bad? What does bad mean? Right? That's someone's opinion. Right, what I think is bad may be not what you think is bad. So same kind of example, rising pork prices are bad for low-income families. But how do we prove if something is bad, right? What does that mean? Again, two others you don't need to write, just listen. It is the government's obligation to provide public transportation options to the nation's people to relieve the negative environmental and health effects of traffic congestion. It's the government's obligation to provide public transportation options to the nation's people to relieve the negative environmental and health effects of traffic congestion. Why is that a normative statement? Right, is it their obligation? No. So I might think yes, Mrs. Roberts might think no, Connor might think yes, Hiroki might think no, right? That's an opinion. Okay, third example. Unemployment rates are higher among less educated workers. Therefore, government should include education and job training programs as a component of benefits for the nation's unemployed. Okay, let me repeat. Unemployment rates are high among less educated workers. Therefore, government should include education and job training programs as a component of benefits for the nation's unemployed. Yeah, it's my opinion of what I think the government should do. There's no fact in that. We can't prove whether they should or they shouldn't. Do you understand the difference between normative and summative, or normative and positive? Okay, so the Kahoot quiz, I'm going to give you a headline out of a paper and you need to either click whether it's positive or normative. Be careful because I switch the order every question, which one comes first. So A is not always positive and B is not always normative. Are you ready? Mrs. Roberts, could Quinn use your iPad and I'll give Albert mine?